Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the notes on function notation. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can find various values of a function. Okay, so first thing, in function notation, we often write y equals 3x plus 2 as f of x equals 3x plus 2. And really what this means is when you plug x in to the function, you'll get y out, right? So like let's say in this one here, I plugged in say 4. Let's get a different color, make this a little easier to see. So let's say if I plugged in 4 for x, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So 4 goes in and 14 comes out. So what this is saying is that when I put 4 in here, the function of 4 gives us 14. So if I put 4 into, that's what f of x is, function notation. If I put 4 in for x, I'm going to get 14 back out for that. Okay? So in f of x, 3x equals 3x plus 2, f of 4, oh look at that. That's funny, this is wrong here. Suppose we just figured out that that's 14. So f of 4 is 14 because 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. Okay. Let's take a look at some examples here. If f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 5x minus 1, find the value of each of these things here. So, excuse me, really what I would want to do is I'm just going to do this. F of 4 is replacing this f of x, so that's going to be negative 2. Now, instead of the x in there, this x, if you'll notice, turns into these x's here are the same. So that means instead of now x, it's now going to be a 4. So I'm going to do negative 2 times 4 squared plus 5 times 4 minus 1. And then I'm just going to solve that. Okay, so that means the function of 4 squared is 16 times negative 2 is negative 32 plus 20 minus 1. So f of 4 is what? Negative 12, negative 13. Okay? Another way to look at this, and you do not have to do it this way, it's just, this is actually a way I learned from one of my college professors, and it was just ridiculous enough to make great sense, actually. So this is called the function machine. So our function in this case here is negative 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. And what I'm going to do in this function machine here is I'm going to plug this 4 is going to go into the function machine. And this 4 is going to go through and replace all the x's. So now that negative 2x squared turns into negative 2 times 4 squared plus 5 times 4 minus 1. So there's our negative 32 plus 20 minus 1. And out of that comes negative 13. So 4 is our x, negative 13 is our y, which is our f of x. Okay, so that's the function machine. You can always use that if you want to, but you certainly don't have to. Okay, this one here, f of negative 3 is a negative 2. Wherever I see x, it's now turning into negative 3. So negative 2 times negative 3 squared plus 5 times negative 3 minus 1. Right, so negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9 times the negative 2. So 9 times negative 2 gives us negative 18. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and that's negative 1. So f of negative 3 is going to be what? Negative 33, negative 34. Okay. All right, and this last one here, just for fun, I'm going to go back and do the function machine. Why? Because I like to. All right, so if you remember, our function is this here, negative 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. Okay, so the 0 goes in here for the x, so negative 2 times 0 squared plus 5 times 0 minus 1. This is 0 plus 0 minus 1 gives us negative 1, and that's our f of 0 is negative 1. Okay, we've got one more set of examples to go through, but first let's do a little comedy break.
I read all these kids' books, you know. Let me ask you something. Does the owl go who or does it go hoot? Half the books say one, half the books say the other. Let me tell you something. Owls don't go hoot, okay? Has anyone ever heard an owl go hoot? Hoot! Never in the history of the animal kingdom has an owl enunciated like that, ever. Toss those books in the trash can. They didn't do their research. Who's deciding how they go, you know? The horse goes neigh. When does a horse do that? You want to give me a ride? Neigh. Everybody knows horses don't go neigh. They go Wilbur.
All right. Last set of examples here. Example 3. If f of x equals negative x squared minus 3x plus 10, find f of negative x, f of x plus 3, and f of x minus 2 plus 1. All right. So, let's see here. All these x's up here are now turning into negative x's. So we do negative, and then negative x squared minus 3 times negative x plus 10. Okay, so negative x times negative x is positive x squared, and then put another negative back on it, and we have negative x squared. Negative 3 times negative x is plus 3x, and plus 10. So that's what f of negative x equals, because you can't simplify that at all. So that is done there. Okay, this one here, f of x plus 3. So now we've got negative x plus 3 squared minus 3 times x plus 3 plus 10. So if you'll notice here, look, we got x plus 3 times x plus 3. So we actually got to multiply that out. Okay, so you can FOIL it if you want, or I'm going to do the stack method. X plus 3, x plus 3. I'm just going to stack one on top of the other. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times x is 3x. If you remember, with regular 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication, we put a 0 down there to hold the spot. X times 3 is 3x. X times x is x squared. And we add these all up. We have positive 9, positive 6x, and x squared. That's what x plus 3 squared is. But if you'll remember here, this negative now has to come down here. And then we have negative, let's see, let's distribute this negative 3 to both of those here. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. And plus 10. So now we want to distribute this negative to all these here. So we have negative x squared minus 6x minus 9 minus 3x minus 9 minus 10. Now we can collect like terms. Negative x squared. We have a negative 6x and a negative 3x is negative 9x. Negative 9, and positive 10 brings us negative 8. So that's the function of x plus 3. Okay? And then this one here, same idea. We're going to do, we want to do the function of x minus 2 and then add 1 at the end, basically. Okay? So we have, let's do this down here so we have enough room. So we have, we've got negative, and now we have x minus 2 squared minus 3 times our x, which is x minus 2, plus 10, and then we have this plus 1 to add on to the end of that. Okay, so first thing we want to do is multiply this x minus 2 squared out. So x minus 2, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. 0 to hold the spot. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Actually, just kind of helps line up everything else. And x times x is x squared. So that is a 4. That's negative 4x. And that is x squared. So that's what this x minus 2, x minus 2 squared is. So again, remember we got to distribute a negative through to all that. And then we got to distribute this negative 3 through here. Negative 3x plus 6 plus 10 plus 1. And then distribute this negative through here. Negative x squared plus 4x minus 4 minus 3x plus 6 plus 10 plus 1. So we end up with negative x squared. And we got 4x minus a 3x is plus an x. And then we got negative 4 plus 6 is 2, 12, 13 plus 13. Oops. Okay. And that's function notation. Okay. If you have any further questions on any of this, please feel free to ask. Thanks.